Good morning, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. So it's Friday, September 8th, and the moon is in Gemini, and the moon moves into Cancer at 1:01 p.m. on the east coast of the U.S. So for most of the day that we're awake anyway, the moon is in Cancer. Of course, Cancer is a very emotional, sensitive, responsive, sometimes reactive moon. And the moon at this time is out of bounds. And out of bounds, there's a track along the ecliptic where most planets move. Occasionally, they move outside of that sort of band. It's about a 27-degree band in the sky. And when, excuse me, when a planet goes out of bounds, it's as if, the boundaries are taken away, right? And so it becomes more of itself. And that moon in Cancer, very, very emotional. So it can end up being a very emotional day today because of that. We also have a trine between the Sun and Jupiter. The Sun and Jupiter are the two largest planetary or bodies within our solar system, making up, I think, like around 98 or 99% of the mass of our solar system. In fact, Jupiter, some consider Jupiter to be a dwarf star because it's so big, and it has such an intense gravitational field. So many moons. It's like its own little universe, right? This trine is, let's see, with the Sun so this trine is a Leo side trine, a trine of creative self-expression, but also ego. So there's this energy today of perhaps going beyond the boundaries. The sun, Jupiter can be, if you have a tendency, or somebody has a tendency towards exaggeration or arrogance, today is a day where that may be seen more so, especially with the moon out of bounds. And lastly, we have a sesquiquadrate between Mars and Uranus. Sesquiquadrates are not fun generally. It's an energy that, in the case of this particular sesquiquadrate, can create humbling experiences. And those humbling experiences come from somebody perhaps who takes an action without thinking. Rash action, things like that, are not going to pay off today. It's going to put you not in a good place. So let's review. Highly emotional, somewhat exaggerated and arrogant, and actions that are not thought out and just done. Especially if you do it because you want to free yourself from something quickly and you don't want to take the steps necessary to do that, you can run into trouble. So I could be describing people, as you know, whose name will not be mentioned this early in the morning. But that's the energy. So it's not particularly dangerous. Well, I wouldn't call it a dangerous day. I just would call it a day not to jump to conclusions, not to go further beyond, not to make a big deal out of something that could be easily resolved with a small deal. And you'll be okay. So we have another hot day coming here. It's supposed to be high in the 90s, it's supposed to be 90, but if it's 90 and the humidity the way it is, yesterday I think I looked at the temperature and it was 88, said it felt like 98, and the humidity was like 73%. That's really, really humid. And when it's really, really humid, it always feels a lot hotter because you can't cool off. So that's the story here. Something to look forward to. Ugh, gosh, well, we'll see. Guess I'm grateful that we have, I don't know, that we're breathing air, even if it's muggy, and I'm alive and moving around, even if it's hot. And this guy here yesterday was so hot, and he was just like hanging out. He sometimes will just lay in the sun, and he's like black, and he's like a solar collector, and I'm like, but he's old, and I understand that does make his joints feel good. And, you know, sometimes I worry about him. I check him and make sure he's still breathing, but he's fine. He's fine. It's just me being a mama, and you know how it is. That's the other thing with the moon in Cancer. Like, the moon in Cancer out of bounds is going to make you more like a Cancer, and so you might find yourselves fussing and mothering and stuff like that on a little bit of a more intense level. So if the people in your life appreciate that, it might be good. If they don't, well, drama mama. Take the drama to your mama. All right, everyone. Have yourself a wonderful day, a wonderful Friday. Be careful out there. That sesquiquadrate quadrate between Mars and Uranus can cause some big problems on the road because people are just doing stupid things suddenly that all you can do is react to. And so just keep your eyes open, I would say. And be prepared to maybe have to take some, moves that get you out of, a situation. All right. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. The astrology for the week ahead, next week, is out if you want to check it out. So some really interesting things happening next week that are definitely worth a look-see. And we also have a new moon coming up next week. I will be doing moon shadows. Of course, Ona, who does the moon shadows with me, is in the middle of moving, getting out of her old place, moving into her new place. So she is like a one-armed paper hanger on roller skates. So I don't know if I can pin her down for that, but either way, we will have a moon shadow episode for this new moon in Virgo that's coming up, which promises to be very transformational. Don't I always say that? All right, guys, take care. Much love. Namaste.